And it's Friday here on Good Things. So we have Tanya, our in-house music probably, and movie critic. I'm sure you wouldn't mind telling us some good beats too, except for the last movie, though, that you did rave about the music, which was I can't ever say the word correctly.
Encanto is how we say it, but I go back and forth.
I want to put the A in Encanto or Encanto. I want to southernize it, but you raved about the music. Finally got to see that with the girls. We streamed it obviously on Disney, and it was so adorable, and the music was on point. So I see why it's going to the sky with Taking Over, Let It Go, and all the things.
Yeah, and it's like nobody can watch it just once. And I enjoyed it so much more the second time I saw it, and I don't know what changed, if it was my mood or... I've always been that way with music. It's like the second time I listened to an album, that's when it really took off for me. So maybe some movies are that way too.
So absolutely. Okay, what we got new?
Well, we're going to have to put a little dark cloud on things. The movie that I saw is actually streaming on Apple Plus, but it's also in select theaters. So you may be lucky enough to catch it in a theater, but it's The Tragedy of Macbeth. And
that had Denzel Washington in it, right?
Denzel,
or has Denzel
yes,
Washington
he's playing Macbeth, and Frances McDormand is playing Lady Macbeth, and of course everybody knows the Shakespeare play. When I was getting ready to watch this, I was like, okay, I'm going back through English in high school, and I'm like, did I have to read Macbeth? I remember Julius Caesar and, of course, Romeo and Juliet, but I couldn't remember until it started. And it all came flooding back to me. Some of the, how you have to memorize passages. It was all coming back to me. But anyway, if you know the story, if you are the type of person that would like to go and see this play, then you need to go see this movie. I mean, it is so interesting the way they did it. It's in black and white. And you know the story. It starts off with Macbeth meeting these three witches that pretty much tell him he's going to be king. And he trusts that's going to happen and is going on about his day until his wife gets involved. And she decides, hey, I think we need to make this happen sooner rather than later. So anyway, and then he just starts becoming this evil person that's killing his way to the throne. But it's shot in such a way that the actors, it almost seems like they're looking at you, which I thought was kind of cool. The actress that plays the witches, she actually plays all three witches, and it's very interesting the way they did it. But she creeped me out. I felt like I was watching a horror movie, kind of combined with a gothic movie or something. It was just really, very dark. But she looked like she reminded me of a real Gollum from Lord of the Rings. I mean, that's how creepy she was. Just kind of weird movements like the girl from The Ring.
Oh, no.
And so anyway, and then, everybody knows the story, so I'm not spoiling anything. But when Macbeth sends his guys to go kill his friend's young boy, they chase. I mean, it's like a cat and mouse hunt in wheat fields, and I mean that was like one of the most terrifying scenes I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, so if you like I said, if you're not the type that's going to go watch this on the stage, you're probably not going to like this movie unless you're a fan of masterclass acting, which I felt like I got watching this. Denzel, I mean, what more can you say? I mean, he's just so awesome in everything he does. And he adds, even though he's just the psycho guy, you can't help but like him a little bit because it's Denzel.
Yeah.
And he's got this swagger about him, and it's like, okay, he makes Macbeth look pretty cool, All the other actors are really good.
Even with it being black and white?
And the way they did, showed like blood, and they used sound effects. Like a lot of times you would hear like bells in the background, or, it would be timed perfectly to people's footsteps. Lots of creepy crows in this movie. Anyway, and then of course Frances McDormand is always great. Now everybody's saying Denzel's going to get nominated for an Oscar for this one, which will put him up against Will Smith. And I want Will Smith to win, but I think Denzel definitely deserves some attention for this. And Frances is good too, but I'm just not sure if she was in it enough overall. I don't know. They've given
you have me interested to see just to say I did. I mean, just to see what you're, I mean, the different. It sounds like it would be out of the ordinary.
It's very different, and it's not what I expected at all. I don't know why. Because I kept hearing that it was a different take on it. So in my mind, I thought, okay, they're going to modernize the dialogue a little bit, or, I really wasn't sure what it was. But, and they did make a few changes, just because in the play, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are younger. And so they had to make a few changes because Denzel and Frances are, in their 60s. But anyway, I thought it was really worth the time. And it's not super long. It was about a little over an hour and a half.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I think it'd be worth checking out, especially even if you can stream it.
Yeah, and I was trying to decide. I think I did stream it. I did not go to the theater. And I wondered, I feel like it would be one that would be cool to see on the big screen because it's just so beautifully shot. And just the cinematography is just incredible, and the set design. I mean, so it's worth seeing it at the big screen if you can.
Is there anything out new in the big screen? On the big screen?
You know what? There are a couple of new movies, but they're not wide released. And I checked, and none of them were in our market.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? There is another one though that is going. I believe it's Netflix this weekend. It's called the After Fall. I'll have to think about that for a second. But it's about two high school girls who they are in the bathroom of their high school when a school shooting starts. And it's the aftermath of everything that happens after, how their lives are affected and their families and everything. So a little bit of a Debbie Downer movie, but it's got a lot of kids that I recognize from like Disney movies or Disney TV. And they're all getting like really great attention for this, this particular movie. So,
speaking of Netflix, The Royal Treatment, I think it just came out. It's a really sweet, funny. Me and my 9-year-old watched it. It's a little bit of a love story, but it's very okay for like your 9-year-old. There was no bad words. There was no scenes. I was so excited to have like a fun movie. It's only like an hour and a half. We called it last night.
Yeah,
and
is that the little girl from Austin and Ally?
Maybe so. It's the hairdresser who falls in love with the prince. I mean, it's very chick flick for sure. The dudes are probably rolling their eyes just even thinking about it. But your tweens, mid-teens to even, if you just like a sweet love, like a fun, sweet love story. And it's totally family friendly. I was very pleased with the fact that I didn't have to fast forward through anything or whatever it may be. And so if you're looking for something just to kill an hour and a half with especially your daughters, it's a cute one.
Oh, that sounds good. There's not a whole lot of movies now that are the perfect length or got something you got to try to
even
skip.
The TV-13 or the PG-13, you're like,
yeah.
They need to be 23, not 13.
Definitely.
But no, this one was good.
Well, good. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it was really sweet. I feel like I caught up too. I mean, with some of them. Not sure. But have you seen? Is it What's the redeeming love?
Redeeming Love. I have not, but I've read a lot about it. It's like set in the 1800s, and
it was a book too, right? And it's a faith-based movie. Am I right with that?
It is, but I was surprised it's PG-13. It said it had a little bit of suggestive content and nudity.
Well, have you ever read the Old Testament?
Yeah, that's true.
It would not be PG.
Yeah, but yeah, it's doing pretty well. I mean, considering that it doesn't get the attention and the money that some of these other movies do. But it's been out for a couple of weeks, and I do want to see it. I've got that one on my list. And Journal for Jordan. Is that right?
Journal for Jordan.
Journal for.
And we have, just to give you a little, next Tuesday, we'll have the rapper Topher out of Philadelphia who wrote the song Here on Good Things for that. So
that'll be fun.
We'll have to make a note to try to watch it before next Friday. How about that?
Yes, definitely.
All righty. Well, lots to see. Okay, thank you for your time. And we'll stick with us. We got a few more good things for you coming up next.